note that this podcast contains information regarding sensitive events, including domestic violence, assault, and abuse, as well as other triggering events such as murder. This podcast is intended for mature audiences. When Alice jumped down the rabbit hole, she immediately regretted her decision. A rabbit hole is a metaphor for something that transports someone into a troubling, surreal state or situation. Welcome to Afterglow, the unveiling of the Idaho cult. This podcast will take you down the deepest of rabbit holes as it unfolds. This story is so compelling, so bizarre, and so heinous, it is impossible to look the other way. Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow were dedicated in the most horrible way to an ideology that should only be fiction. Instead, their ideology put them behind bars. Join us as we explore the lives, lies, and diabolical crimes of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. I'm your host, Kathy Brooks. Please follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Afterglow, Unveiling the Idaho Cult, Season 1. This is Episode 7. It is starting to get strange. If you didn't listen to the last few episodes, it would probably be a good idea for you to stop here, go back, and listen to all the other episodes that I've uploaded on this case, because we start from the very beginning, and jumping in the middle can get a little confusing. But for those of you that are following along and right here with me in episode 7, we're going to talk about the rest of the day, July 11th, 2019, when Charles Vallow was murdered in cold blood while Lori was there. Lori Vallow, his wife, Tylee Ryan, his stepdaughter, JJ Vallow, his adopted son, and Alex Cox. Now, if you remember last episode, there was like 43 minutes between the 911 call and the actual time that Charles would have been shot. So right there, that's shady. Super shady, right? So what we need to do now is continue to watch the interviews of the aftermath. Remember, Alex was taken in one car down to the police station in Chandler, Arizona that day. And Lori was taken and Tylee was taken. They were all put in different rooms and interviewed about what happened. Last episode, we heard Lori's big, long explanation. We heard Alex sitting on the curb with his explanation. We haven't heard Tylee's explanation yet. So I'm going to start today with Tylee's interview with the Chandler Police Department that day. Lori is in a room right next to her. I've seen footage where Lori is literally able to hear and leans over to listen to what's going on in Tylee's room. And as you see, things get really bad in this case. As I introduced in the beginning, it is probably one of the most horrible set of crimes, murders that you will ever hear about. Here's Tylee's interview with the Chandler Police, July 11th, 2019.
Hi. So you have to spell your name because we're all taking guesses on how to spell it. We're not sure.
Tylee.
Okay, I was right. And what's your last name?
Ryan, Ryan.
And your birthday. And then, do you have a phone?
Yeah.
What's your phone number? Okay. So I know this is going to kind of sound like kind of a silly question because it's super broad. But can you basically tell me what happened today? And you can start at whatever place makes sense for you to kind of start and explain. I'll probably kind of ask you questions as we go a little bit.
So I woke up probably around like 7:50, I want to say, because I heard yelling from like right outside my door. And I don't even know what I heard, but I immediately like jumped up, and I have a baseball bat because when I was living at my uncle's by myself, I just wanted something to like feel safer, and I'm not old enough to get like pepper spray or anything. So I was like, okay, I'll get a baseball bat. So I have that.
So your bedroom, you said right outside your bedroom door, and I didn't go in the house, so I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage. So what is your bedroom door open to?
My bedroom door open, so the room that my uncle was staying in, the room that's kind of like the guest room, if my room's right here, that's right there.
Okay.
And then my little brother's room, and then kitchen's kind of back here, so it's like a little hallway, and then right here is kind of where everything happened.
Okay.
Like the big, you walk in and...
Like big great room, kind of living room?
Yeah, right now it just has mirrors up because my mom wanted a dance room. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of unconventional, but...
Hey, whatever makes you happy. It's your guys' house, so...
Right.
Lori likes to have a dance room. In fact, later on, there's some talk about Lori sending her pictures of herself dancing to Chad Daybell while she was still married to Charles. So, Tylee's explaining, a little unconventional, kind of like the way she says that, but whatever. Lori is kind of full of Lori. You'll understand that as we go along as well.
So, yeah, I immediately just jumped up and I grabbed my baseball bat and I opened the door, and it was my stepdad, outside the doorway, and then my uncle kind of in the doorway, and then I could hear my mom behind him. And he was just screaming at both of them, like, I don't even know what he was saying, because honestly I was just too, like wired, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I told him to take a few steps back. I was like, you're too close, you need to step back. And he was like, don't tell me what to do. And I just kind of just stood there. And then my uncle kind of moved out of the way. And then my mom kind of went past him and into, like, the big room.
Okay.
Where everything happened. And so I walked with them. And then
So they were more in the hallway.
Yeah, they were at, like, the end of the hallway, basically. And so my mom walked all the way around. And he kind of followed them. And I just kind of stood. My uncle was, like, right here, and then my stepdad right here, and then me and my mom were kind of right here. And I didn't do anything with the baseball bat. I kind of just held it there. And he was getting really close to my mom, so I kind of stuck it out, like, between them. And they were both just yelling, and he was like, if you hit me with that baseball bat, you're going to go to jail. And I just kind of stood there with the baseball bat, and I didn't really say anything.
When you said they were yelling, who was yelling?
It was mostly my stepdad.
Okay.
Well, he was really the only one, like, yelling. Mm-hmm. My mom was kind of, like, responding, mm-hmm. but I honestly couldn't tell you what they were saying. It was kind of just, like, all jumbled up in my head. And so I just kind of stuck the baseball bat out there, and then he just grabbed it and tried to take it. So I held on to the end, and then eventually I fell, and he kind of took it into his hands like he was going to do something with it, and that's when...
So when you fell, he ended up with the bat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I fell to the ground, and then my uncle kind of, like, I saw him take a step back, so my uncle, I think, grabbed him and kind of took him back so he couldn't, like, do anything.
You saw your stepdad, like, take a step back?
Take a step back, because he was really close to begin with, and then and so my mom said to go with JJ, and so I ran out the door, and then I kind of just stood there with my little brother. He was in the front seat of the car, and so I just kind of opened the door and just stood there, and, like, he was trying to get out, and I was like, no, we have to stay. We have to stay in. And I was like, oh, like, I told him, like, do you want to go in the Jeep? And then he was like, no, and then I realized that my car was blocked in, so I couldn't anyways. I was like, okay, like, just stay here, and then eventually my mom came out, mm-hmm. and then we left from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened inside of the house? Has your mom kind of explained it all to you?
I just kind of asked her, like, because I heard a noise, mm-hmm. which I know what it was now, but it sounded like, because I knew that the baseball bat was in there, it sounded like someone, like, took it and hit it really hard against the floor.
Okay.
And so I was kind of like, Al's okay, right? Because that's my uncle. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to make sure that, like, my stepdad didn't do anything to my uncle and stuff. And so she was like, no, like, Al's fine. Like, we're just going to take JJ to school. And I was like, okay. So I just got in the car. And then we went to Burger King because my little brother wanted breakfast. Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, Alex had told 2 stories. They were there, they were gone, they were gone. Now Tylee actually heard the gunshot in her story. So we need a spreadsheet for this of what each one of them said. But the bottom line is it doesn't add up. Their timelines are weird. Their story is weird. And it looks to me like Kay and Larry are probably correct about the fact that it was an ambush.
We'll be right back.
We've all wondered it. Just what happens to make a person snap and commit unthinkable acts of violence? Was it an urge they had been suppressing for some time? Or was it a crime of passion, a crime of opportunity? Or are some people just born evil? The truth is, each crime and each criminal is different, and it's fascinating to talk about. Killer Heart to Hearts is a true crime podcast brought to you in story form, where we take a closer look at the worst among us. Available wherever you listen to podcasts. Come journey with us to the darkest side of humanity.
Which was chicken fries for some reason.
Okay. I do dinner for breakfast all the time.
Breakfast for dinner and dinner for breakfast.
So to kind of back up a little bit, so you had talked about your stepdad, when you put the bat out, your stepdad was coming towards your mom. Can you describe to me a little bit better kind of what was going on there? Like, is there a reason you put the bat up?
Yeah, he was walking towards my mom, and I just didn't want him to do anything, so I kind of just stuck out the bat. Like, my mom was right beside me, and he was right there, so it wasn't, like, between them.
Okay.
It was kind of just, like, I just stuck it out to be, like, keep your distance, kind of.
When you say you didn't want him to do anything, what did you think he was going to do?
Hit her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, for the most part, been pretty, like, mundane, but there have been a few, like, violent times with him when I was really scared that he was going to hit me or hit my mom, like, just because everything was kind of crazy. Me and him have always kind of not gotten along, like, just since I was little. And so there have been a few times that we've gotten in fights and stuff like that, and so, so I'm just kind of always scared of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so that happened, and he grabbed the bat from you. So kind of tell me that again real quick.
So I kind of stuck it out, and this is when he was like, if you hit me with that baseball bat, you're going to jail, and I didn't say anything because I'm like, okay. And so I'm holding it by, like, the end of the bat, like, the place where you hold it, and so he kind of took it, and I kind of, like, lunged forward and kind of lost, like, my footing. And so my mom was like, just let go, and so, I kind of, like, slipped and I fell, kind of on, like, my side.
Okay.
Yeah, and then from that, my mom said to go to the car, so I just got up and ran out the door.
Okay, did you see, when you fell towards your side, did you see what he did with the bat?
No, I wasn't really looking in that direction because from where I fell, the door was kind of more in my line of vision because I fell looking this way and the door was, like, right there, so I didn't look back.
So he was he was at a different line of sight than what you were looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point you saw him kind of take a step back. And from what you're saying, and tell me if I'm wrong or not, you didn't necessarily see your uncle pulling back, but it seems like that maybe.
It seems like he wouldn't have taken a step back on his own, so it's more of an assumption than anything. I didn't see him physically take him back.
And does that make sense based on where your uncle was at that time?
Yeah, he was behind him, because he wasn't on this side with me and my mom, so he was behind him. Okay. Because that's kind of just the order where everyone walked out.
And when that happened and then your mom told you to go, did you see what happened with your stepdad and uncle?
No.
Okay. And then when she went outside with your brother, you never came back inside?
Oh, I went to go get my mom's purse from inside so that we could have, like, her wallet and everything, but this was all happening, like I said, like, in the bigger room right here, and so I went through the garage door, and so the garage door is right here, and then there's like a little hallway, and then this is kind of where everything is, and then this is my mom's room.
Okay.
So when I went in, I kind of like just tuned everything out, ran to my mom's closet, ran back. So I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything.
When did you go back in and get her purse?
After my mom came out.
Okay. So after you heard that loud noise?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you heard the loud noise, was your mom outside or inside?
I'm trying to think. I think she was inside when it happened, and the door opened like immediately after.
Okay. So very quickly after the door opened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a long period of time, because I remember not like thinking about it for that long, and if my mom hadn't come out immediately, I would have, been thinking about it for a lot longer than I had.
So obviously I don't know like your mom and stepdad and uncle. Like you do, I don't. So can you tell me kind of where the three of them were at kind of emotionally and how they were behaving when all this was happening?
When all this was happening, or like before?
When all this was happening. So like when you came out of your room and he took the bat from you and...
Yeah, so my stepdad was like, he was like, I don't even know how to explain it. He honestly just looked like kind of a crazy person.
Okay.
Like screaming, and like his face was beet red. He just looked like really mad. I remember when he took the bat from me, I saw his face for like a split second, and I honestly like, it didn't even look like him. He just looked like pure like rage. Like he was just seeing red. So I haven't really seen him like all the way like that before. That's like the craziest I've ever seen him. And then my uncle was kind of calm, like not super calm. Obviously it was like a stressful situation, but he's like, I don't know, he was kind of just standing there in the doorway, kind of just being protective of my mom, but he wasn't yelling or really saying anything.
Okay. And
my mom was just he was yelling, and my mom was kind of just like talking.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But you don't remember, if you do, like what your mom was saying at all, or what he was mad about?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
Honestly, like
we're talking about something that probably happened over 2 seconds of time. So.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like 2 seconds and 40 minutes at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what they were really saying. I just kind of heard yelling over everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of just do that whenever things are like really loud. I kind of just like tune what people are saying out, because I don't know, just yelling isn't fun, obviously, for a kid to hear. And with my biological dad, I always heard him like screaming and stuff, so I kind of just learned how to like tune it out.
So when you woke up to yelling, and you had said you weren't sure what they were actually saying, did you know who was yelling when you heard the yelling?
Yeah, I knew it was my stepdad. Well, at first I kind of didn't. Like when you first wake up, you're kind of disoriented. And then I remembered that my stepdad was like coming in to take my little brother to school today, so I immediately like knew it was him. And then my uncle I knew was staying, so I knew that was him. And then my mom, obviously, I knew that was her. Yeah.
And then, so you stepped out of your room and you took the bat with you. Is there a reason why you took the bat with you?
Honestly, I think that was kind of just like first instinct. Like obviously I didn't ever hit him with the bat or anything like that. It was kind of just for like security, I guess, to know that I had it. I didn't do anything with it. In hindsight, I probably just shouldn't have brought it out at all, because it caused more trouble. But it was kind of just first instinct, and it was right by my bed. So I kind of just like jumped up and grabbed it.
So I'm trying not to put like words in your mouth and stuff.
You're good.
So was there something in particular that you were concerned about that you would have taken the bat with you?
Only if he had been violent towards like me or my mom.
I'm assuming you're talking about your stepdad?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to take the bat and like do something with it. It was kind of just like, I need something in my hands to like feel safer.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So my kind of second dumb question is, and I don't know that there necessarily is, but I always kind of want to make sure, is there anything that, you know, we didn't talk about or I didn't ask you about or anything that you think is important or anything that I should know? Because it's harder for you because you were there. And so I'm asking questions about something I didn't even see. So I just want to make sure, like, I didn't miss something or anything that you think I should know about.
That was pretty much it.
Okay. And if you think of something, you know, in 5 minutes and tomorrow or whatever else, we can always talk again. It's totally fine. So, I talked to your mom about, we have some victim services people that work here. They're not cops. They're really good at what they do. So I really want your mom to talk to them because I think it would be good that your mom has, and you guys have some, maybe kind of some extra support if you need anything kind of go moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to check in with your mom real quick, and if she's good to go, then I'm going to introduce one of them to you guys. That way you guys can talk before I take you guys back. Okay? Sound fair? Okay. Do you have any questions for me at all?
No,
okay. If you do, let me know, okay? Okay.
You know, the police officer detective woman was actually more concerned about their mental health over this whole thing than they seem to be. You know, I mean, sometimes people are in shock and they don't feel it, doesn't sink in. But as this story continues to unfold, you'll see that unfortunately, Lori had a lot up her sleeve, and Tylee was a victim in all of this. And clearly Tylee loved her mom. And it's really sad because you can manipulate a teenager, a child, as a parent. You really can. And she sure as heck did a good job, as you'll see. Now I want to go and play Alex's interview.
I think it's over here. Every time I'm here, something changes in this place. Do you need to use the restroom or anything? I'm good right now. Okay. I'll have you put your sunglasses here. In fact, I'll have you sit over here. Sure. Let me see your hair real quick. Yeah. I'll get some photos of that. It's starting. How does it feel right now? Sore, but not bad. Okay. Any headaches you have at all right now? No? A little bit. Just a little bit? Okay. You're not feeling nauseous or anything?
A little bit, not bad.
Okay. Do you want me to call paramedics? Check you out, or?
No, I think it's more adrenaline than anything.
Gotcha. Do you have any medical issues that might be underlying that?
Yeah, I'm slightly overweight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, join the club. Other than that, high blood pressure or anything, or you take medication that you need to have?
No. Just,
okay.
It was a little high in my last physical, but not.
Oh, okay.
Nothing major, no medication or anything like that.
Groovy. Okay.
Hey, Rob, if you don't mind hanging tight, do you need another water or are you good? Oh, you got one?
I got an extra.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
I'll be right back, Rob.
Yep. All right. I sit a lot when I type, sitting in the car, driving around.
Yeah.
I want to stand a lot of times. Sometimes it's just too hard to write and stand.
I'm all set, Rob. If you're good.
Yep, I'm good. The only thing is what he was using to clean his head. Other than that, this is all his property.
Okay.
I did call a night tech to have that
Photograph. You did?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
If you could call one for the interview room downstairs. Thank you.
We still on time?
I think they were going to clear it, but I had my radio off. All right, Alexander, my name's Nate Moffet. I'm in the Detective Police Department.
Remember this Detective Moffet. He plays a big role as we move forward in everything that happens down the road. He's actually a big link to getting some of this figured out.
I want to walk through what happened today. Let me just write a couple things down. 37. So, are you still living out on Cherie Street?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you working right now?
I'm off this week.
Okay. Where do you work at? What do you do for them?
On drive a truck. Mostly hauling has waste.
Okay. What's the cell phone number for you? Okay. What about social? Okay, I have very little understanding or knowledge of what happened. Patrol kind of, Rob, or the officer that talked to you out there, it kind of turns into the phone game. So, you know what I mean? When they go, yeah, this is what he says, but they're kind of rambling through it real fast. And same with your sister. Your sister's name is Lori or Lauren?
Lori.
Lori. Lori? Okay. So, the big thing I want to do is just make sure that we have all the details accurate and factual. So, because kind of some of the information we got from patrol didn't really match up what Lori told us compared to. So, walk me through what happened.
He's already got his spidey senses up. He said what Lori told us didn't match what you told patrol today. So, he's already on to them a little bit. That something's not right here.
Well, I stayed the night at my sister's.
Okay.
We were planning to go do something fun day. We hadn't really decided. I was thinking maybe I was going to take her to the range.
Okay.
Or go do something.
Okay.
And I'll take JD to some water park or movies or whatever. So I stayed there last night, and this morning Charles showed up, and I don't know what started it.
And Charles is your brother-in-law. He and Lori are married.
Yes.
Okay.
So he showed up. He was following her and yelling. And then I got between them. And then Tylee came out with her bat. And I had separated for a minute. And then the sisters walked around me there in the living room. And then Charles was following Lori and yelling. And Tylee told him to get back. She took her bat like that and shoved him, and he took the bat away. And I said, "What are you doing?" And I got between them, and then he hit me. And I just went down, and when I got up, he was still yelling. And so I went into the bedroom where I was staying, grabbed my gun, and I came back.
Okay.
And told him to put the gun down, or the bat down. And he came at me and was saying, what are you going to do? Like that, and come to me with the bat. I said, put it down. He wouldn't. He came at me, so.
Okay. So when that argument first started between Lori and Charles, where in the house were they?
I don't know.
Okay. Where did you first?
I was in my bedroom.
Okay, so you were in your bedroom, and you heard the argument.
When they came right towards me.
Okay, so they were coming down the hallway towards the bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, so you hear the argument, you step out, what's the first thing that you see?
Charles chasing after Lori and yelling.
Okay. Had Tylee already gotten the bat? No. Did he already have the bat? Okay. No. So Charles is coming towards Lori.
He's coming towards Lori, and I shoved him back.
Okay.
And I said, "What are you doing?" Because he's coming at her aggressively.
Okay.
He's a big dude, so he's not gonna hurt my sister.
Okay. So he's coming at her.
Yeah.
And you shoved him back.
Yeah.
What happened right after that? And that's I'm sorry to interrupt you.
He got back up and he comes right to me, doesn't look at me, and continues to yell at Lori.
Okay.
So he's maybe this far away.
Are you in the hallway of the house, or
right close to the doorway of that bedroom?
Of the bedroom you were staying?
Yes.
Okay. So you're right near the bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
So then I don't remember why. He backed up, and then my sister came around behind me, and they ended up in the living room. And then while they're on the way to the living room, Tylee comes out of her bedroom, which is adjacent to the one I was staying in,
Okay.
with her bat,
Okay.
yelling at Charles. Actually, she was behind Charles at first, and then she cut around in front of him in the living room.
Okay. So he then went back. They went back towards the living room.
Yes,
after you shoved him. Did he fall to the ground when you shoved him?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So he falls to the ground. He gets back up. You're blocking between him and Lori.
Yes.
And he basically is talking past you, still yelling at Lori.
Yes. Exactly.
What's he saying?
I don't know.
Okay. So as you're standing there between them, what happened right after that? Is that when Tylee came out with her bat?
No, he backed up.
Okay.
He yelled something, and then he backed up, and then Lori went by me and around me in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So he backed up. I cleared the doorway. So then she came around, and then Charles was behind her, pursuing her again aggressively.
Okay.
Tylee came out, yelled at him with the bat.
Okay. And are you guys in the living room then, or still in the hallway?
Yeah. It starts in the hallway and then goes to the living room.
Okay.
So Tylee gets around him in the living room. He stops. Tylee goes around to the front of him, tells him to back off.
What I find it easiest to do in situations like this is to just kind of draw like a rough floor plan.
Sure. So we'll make this the living room. All right, and then this is the hallway.
Okay.
And then this is the kitchen. So Tylee's bedroom is here, my bedroom is here, and then the living room is here.
Okay, we just put living room on there so I know, and then you said that's kitchen.
Yeah.
And then
so the doorway is here.
okay. Is this area of the house where all of this incident was focused
Yes.
at? Okay.
Yep. And then there's another bedroom here. This is JJ's bedroom.
Okay. So you first get involved when they're down by your room.
They come all the way into she comes in the room and he comes right here and I stopped him right here.
Okay, so she came into your room.
Yeah.
Okay. So she comes into your room. He's coming at her aggressively, and that's when you pushed him.
Yep.
So you push him down.
Yep.
And then he gets back up.
Yep.
And
then he yells, and then he backs up.
Okay.
And then Lori goes around him, and they're still going at it.
Okay.
Right? And then Tylee comes out when she hears what's going on. She has her bat.
Okay. Is it a metal bat?
Yeah, it's
plastic
a
bat.
aluminum bat.
Okay.
So she comes at him because she's tiny, so that's like her thing. You know, she doesn't have anything, but she wants to help defend her mom.
Okay.
So she comes at him, and then
when they've already moved back towards the living room.
So they're going this way.
Okay.
So Lori's here, Tylee's here, Charles is here, I'm here. Tylee goes at him with the bat. Then he takes the bat away from her, and I step towards him, and he turned around and cracked me.
Is that the injury that's caused on your head? Okay.
Well, there was some shoving first, and I got spun around.
Okay.
And then popped. So I go back here, grab my gun, and come back out. He's still yelling and threatening me.
Okay.
And then, so I was standing here, and he was there.
Okay. So you're standing right there. He's right here.
He's there.
And you said, what happened? What happened when you came out with the gun?
I said, put that bat down. He's like, what are you going to do? So you're going to threaten me? I was like, no, I'm just going to defend myself. So you put that bat down. He goes, what are you going to do it like that? And he came at me.
Okay.
And he'd already hit me in the head.
Okay. So he came at you at the bat. What was he doing with the bat when he came at you?
It was in his right hand like this.
Okay. So he's holding it low and he's coming at you? Okay. So you gave him, how many times would you say you told him to put the bat down?
Once.
Once? Okay. And then he started advancing towards you?
Yes.
How many shots did you fire?
I don't know. A couple.
Okay. Were Tylee and your sister?
I didn't see him, so I don't know where they were.
Where's JJ at during all this?
He's already out in the car.
Okay, so he's sitting out in the car.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. But you, as far as you think or understand, you're not sure where they were.
Correct.
He's in the corner of the living room.
They were no longer in the room.
Okay.
When I come back out.
Okay. So they're out of the room, so it's just you and him.
Yes.
And he basically comes at you with the bat.
Yeah.
You tell him to put it down.
Yeah.
He's threatened,
yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And what'd you tell him?
I didn't say anything. he's coming to me, and I'm holding the gun.
Okay.
If you're going to attack someone with a gun, you got to be ready for the repercussions.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure, because he basically, you had said earlier that he had the bat.
Yep.
And he asked, like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And you had already told him to put the bat down, and then he just came at you, and you shot him.
Yep.
Okay. And you're thinking a couple times?
It was more than one shot.
Okay. So more than one shot. What kind of gun was it?
45.
Okay. What make?
It's a Springfield XDM.
Okay. So it's an XDM 45.
Yeah.
What type of ammo were you carrying in it? Do you know?
Just standard.
Like full metal jacket?
Yeah.
Target shooting? Okay.
Yeah.
So you fire a couple times.
Yeah.
You don't know where they're at.
They're gone.
They're gone. What happened right after that?
Right after that, I went to the kitchen and rinsed my hands off because I had blood on the back of my head. And then I went back into the room and put the gun down and grabbed my phone. And then went back into the kitchen and called 911.
Okay. And then did you see your sister and Tylee again? Did they come back in or not?
Not till they drove up.
Okay. So then they drove up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they drove up outside.
Gotcha. What's going on with Charles and Lori? I mean, does he live there?
No.
Okay. So where's he living now?
He lives in Houston.
Okay. For work, or are they separated, or?
Separated and for work.
Okay. So both. How long have they been separated?
January.
Okay. So 6 months or so, 6-7 months.
Yeah. He's had some pretty erratic behavior since that split up.
Okay.
He came and threatened me and Tylee at my house in February or March or whatever.
Okay.
And there was a little confrontation mostly between Tylee and Charles.
Were the police involved in that one?
No.
Okay.
No. I was just supervising to make sure that he didn't hurt her.
Okay. So, was he working out of state before January? Or?
He always has worked out of state.
Okay, so he always works out of state. What's he do for a living?
He does annuities.
Okay. So, what was he in town for today? Does he come into town often, or? Occasionally to see JJ. Okay. Is he JJ and Tylee's dad?
He's JJ's dad. Well, actually, Lori he's Charles's nephew. He's his niece's kid.
JJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was a meth addict, and they adopted JJ.
Okay. So they adopted JJ, but Tylee is not.
Not his.
Okay.
So he would be a stepdad, I guess.
Okay, so stepdad. When's the last time he's been in town, or when's the last time you've seen him?
Last time I saw him was at my house in February, March.
Okay. Was he here last night? Did you guys have any interactions with last night?
No.
Is there any history of domestic violence between Lori and Charles?
Not physically that I know of.
Okay. So, how old is Charles?
60, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. How old's your sister?
44 or 5.
Okay.
Is it sad that I don't know?
I have to do the math. Don't worry about it.
It's hard enough remembering my own age.
Right. Each birthday, you're like, that didn't happen.
After 45, who cares?
Is there anything else that you could think of that I didn't ask about, but I need to know right now?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Did Lori ever say, like in the last couple of days, that Charles was coming to town?
Yeah, she said he was coming to pick up JJ.
Okay. So you guys were expecting him to show up today?
Yeah.
Okay. So you knew, okay. It wasn't like he just showed up unexpectedly?
No, it wasn't a surprise or anything like that.
But you don't know what they were arguing or fighting about?
His behavior was a surprise, but him showing up was not a surprise.
Okay. Let me just walk you through my understanding of it to make sure that I'm accurate. You were in your room.
Yeah.
Had you even gotten up and like been out of your room this morning?
Yeah, brushed my teeth.
Okay. So you're in your room. You hear.
I'm just on the phone, and then I just hear them coming around the hall quick.
Had you seen Charles before, or like that morning?
No.
Okay. So you hear them arguing.
Yep.
And by
the time I see him is at the doorway.
At your doorway.
And I shove him back.
So Lori comes into your room.
Yep.
You're in your room.
Yep.
You get up at the doorway and basically get between him and Lori.
Yep.
You push Charles back.
Yep.
He probably fell down to the ground or did fall to the ground.
He stumbled back.
Okay. So he stumbles back. He comes right back up,
Yep.
and he's talking past you,
Yes.
still yelling at Lori.
Yes.
But you don't know what he was yelling at.
I don't remember.
Okay. So at some point in time, Charles backs up. Lori comes out, and they both go around you and towards the living room.
Yes.
Tylee comes out of her room with a bat.
Yeah.
And basically, they've made their way into the living room.
Yes.
So Tylee pokes her dad in the back.
In the front. In the
In the
chest.
front. Okay, so
Or stomach,
she's
yeah.
come around this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's come around.
So this is Tylee and that's Charles.
Okay, so she pokes him in the bat
Yeah.
or in the chest with the bat.
Yeah.
You know how many times about or
Just once and
Just
then he
once.
grabbed that too.
so he grabs the bat, takes it away. You come towards him.
Yeah.
And then what happened right after that?
He shoved me and spun me around
Okay,
and then cracked me in the back of the head.
cracked you in the back of the head. He hit you one time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back to your room.
I stumbled forward, yeah, and then I went back in there.
Did you fall to the ground when you got hit with the bat?
No, just my head bounced.
Okay. So you go back to your room.
Yeah.
Get the gun.
Yeah.
Come back to the living room.
Yeah.
Now, Tylee and Lori are gone.
Yeah.
And
It's just me and Charles in the living room.
okay. And Charles, what's he doing again?
He's got the bat
Okay.
and he's looking at me and he's going, "What?" And I told him, I said, Charles, put that bat down. And he goes, what are you going to do about it?
How are you holding the gun when that happened?
On the right
Okay. So
hand.
you pointed at him.
Yeah.
You tell him, Charles, put the gun down
Yeah.
or put the bat down.
Mm-hmm.
And what did he say?
He's like, what are you going to do about it?
Okay.
And then comes at me.
Okay. And then you fire a couple times.
Yeah.
But you're not sure how many. You know it was more than one.
I'm pretty sure it was two.
Two. Okay. 2 shots. Where were you aiming on his body?
Center.
Okay. So you're pretty sure 2 shots center mass.
Yeah.
He falls to the ground. You don't see Lori or Tylee anymore.
Correct.
You go to the kitchen, grab a rag for your head,
Yeah, throw some paper towels and wash my hands off.
and then go back to your room, put the gun down,
Yeah.
grab your phone,
Yeah.
come back to the kitchen and call him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they walked me through. I tried to do CPR.
Okay. Anything else that you can think of that I need to know, or that's important to this?
So that's all there is.
Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else that I need to know. I'm going to get a tech out here to take some photographs of you if you're okay with that.
That's fine.
So if you want to hang tight for me, you need the restroom or anything?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, hang tight for me. I'll be right back. I'm going to go have somebody take some photographs of your head.
Yep.
This back in there. All right, I'll be right back.
Thanks. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm just here to take some photographs of you. I've got to do some swabs of your hands
Yeah.
too, and then of your injuries. Could you spell your last name for me?
COX.
And what's your first name?
Alexander.
And what's your birthday?
Well, I'll say that's about the easiest last name to spell in a long time.
Come on, spell me.
And while she's getting stuff there, I'll just ask you some questions about it. So I see you got this on your, is that from today?
Yeah.
Okay. And you got something on the back of your head. Do you have any other injuries? You feel any bruising anywhere else?
I don't feel anything.
Okay. And we'll take a look at his back.
Yeah, well,
Might have you take your shirt off
Sure.
and take a quick look and see if you get any marks or injuries back there.
Sure.
so I know you're hit in your head. Are you okay to stand up?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to have you stand up just right against this wall right here.
All right. And then I could do my bladder after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then we'll
So
get
go face me
conversion.
first.
What's that?
So
Face
turn
us.
and face me first.
Oh.
Basically, I'm going to do a set of overall photographs, and then we'll do your injuries one by
Okay.
one, okay?
So I did fast forward, and there was a lot of time when Alex was waiting for them to come back. And now they're back with the police photographer, and she's there to take the pictures. And it kind of is interesting because immediately Alex assumed she wanted to take pictures of his injuries. And she's like, well, no, we'll take picture injuries after. Right now, Alex, you are a suspect. At least you would think he was at this point, right?
And then I'll swab your hands and it won't take that long. Just look right at me.
Mm-hmm.
And were you, these are clothes you were wearing at the time of everything?
Okay, look right at me. Okay, turn to face that way with your whole body.
There you go.
Face the wall so your back's to me. Turn to your right. Okay, face me again. All right, and then if
You know what's sad when you're posing for photographs and you don't have a good side?
put your hands like this. Okay, lower and just lean back so you're tilted down more.
Okay.
So you're like this, tilt.
Oh, hands
okay.
tilted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can stand up
All
straight.
right.
There you go.
Turns out we can move the camera around.
Okay, and then palms up. Okay, so I'm going to swab your hands right now,
Sure.
just so that
Yeah.
I'm not manipulating so much.
And then, as soon as she's all done here, I'll get you into, next we'll take some pictures of each of your injuries. We'll check your back out and I'll let you go use the restroom and I'll get you a new water. Or do you want soda or anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Water would be good after, but
Okay.
not before.
Face mask, can you
What's that?
do the face mask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I am a full service shop.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's either PPE or.
So he
she's
says, while she's put on her mask, it's either PPE or she's Chinese. She's put on a medical surgical mask. This was prior to COVID, by the way.
Maybe I'm feeling sick.
Knowing her, I'm going to go with sick.
You never know. We all have a little piece of everything in us, right?
No, around here we come in contact with so many different people, and then everyone's got kids,
Yes.
and then you next thing you know, one person's sick, and it could be the middle of summer when there's nothing going around, and within a week, everyone's sick.
Yeah.
This is more just so I don't have my DNA on your
Very good.
swabs. I just need to have that mixed in there.
I miss the old days when I wasn't in the office. I was out in the field. Then I knew that I only had to deal with the people I was coming in contact with, not all this going on.
Yeah.
Is that your house down there?
No, I live in St. Valley.
Oh, okay.
No, it's my sister's house.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a pretty nice neighborhood. I've never been in that neighborhood ever before.
It's a maze, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I had to sit forever to try to get a code to get inside.
I took Google Maps and I'm like, you're still not taking me where I need to go.
Everything south of Queen Creek is like that down there. When they built all those neighborhoods in the early 2000s, it was more aesthetically pleasing if it was circular and the roads didn't go straight.
Meandered and nobody could get in or out.
Yeah.
Without a Sherpa.
I grew up in the North Valley where everything's straight lines, but not down there. You can put your back on. Done with that one. Relax it.
Okay, this way.
How far out in St. Ann are you?
Combs and Ironwood.
Okay. Yeah.
They finally finished Combs and Riggs. It connects.
Oh, wow, about time.
15 years too late.
Yeah, yeah.
We shut down Rittenhouse for a month to do that exchange of Combs and Rittenhouse. You know, where it's a stupid
Yeah.
one lane left turn.
Yeah, if you want to go up to the pork shop.
So they shut that down for a month to do this redo on this road.
Of course, the one area where most of the like tourist traffic for over there is the worst traffic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we shut that down. And
Federal Street, Mannequin Robert 7765.
that's Pinal County, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Okay, I'm gonna do a swab of the inside of your cheek. It's just to get your own DNA
Sure.
that way. Okay, so you'll just open your mouth. I'm gonna take the swab, rub it on the inside on both sides.
Sure.
Okay. All right, and then you finish with your photographs.
Sure.
So on the inside of this hand, there's no injury, right? That's
Right.
just straight blood.
Yeah, that's
So
Charles's.
that's new. Okay, so you can just put your arm like this. Okay. Do you know what that one's from?
This.
This one?
When we scuffled
Okay.
on the Sunday.
Okay, let's put it back.
Mm-hmm.
This one. Is that just an old scar?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that? Okay.
isn't that his desk? Go back to the office.
Yeah, and no injuries on the top of your hands at all, right? Okay. Nothing else hurts on your arms?
Nope.
So the only other thing is the back of your head? Okay. Does it hurt only on this side or on this side too?
No, just on the
Just
right
where that
there.
actually
Yeah.
is, okay.
Yeah, it's just pimples and I got those ugly red moles.
Okay. I just wanted to
Looks like
make
it's
sure
a
that
little-
wasn't another.
Yeah.
Another mark.
I don't know. I can't see the back of my head, so I'm sure it's not pretty.
Oh, actually, your haircut's pretty decent.
Okay.
Except that, boy, so you still take it. Except for the lump there. Man, that's fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Helps when someone's taller, you try to get more level to.
Yeah.
Not everybody uses this.
I've never seen it used before.
I do it all the time.
No, it's fantastic.
Step stool?
I have a viewer on my camera, so I can.
Oh,
use
nice.
The camera.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just saying, I've never seen anything, ever seen this.
I've got the adjustable LCD on my Sony.
Okay.
They're really nice.
Yeah, it makes you be able to see different angles without having to.
Yeah, you can shoot crazy angles and still see what you're doing. You don't have to have your eye behind the camera. It's really nice.
All right, I'm gonna have you sit just so I can do a couple more.
Okay.
That one is what the other one's maybe you should get out of it because it's heavy to hold those.
Especially when you're holding up at an angle like that.
I'll be excited when they switch to the new mirrorless. Those things are light.
My wife has one of those.
I love that thing. I just got one 6 months ago.
You said the Sony?
Yeah, the A7 III.
She has the A6 something.
That's 600?
Yeah, I think that's
6,000.
It's more than. She doesn't let me use it.
Let me get this shit.
Sure.
I just know what it costs.
Yeah. I own this one at home, and this is an expensive camera.
We can also use it commercially too.
What's that one?
This one is the 700, or
Nikon.
750.
Oh, the D750. Oh, those are really nice.
So it's full frame.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really nice.
It's 32 meg. That's good resolution.
So have you seen that? I think we want to check under your shirt.
Yeah,
sure.
Should we
Can I take my shirt off?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Just spin
Normally
around.
a little red right here.
Yeah.
Okay, just normal. Okay,
Just take a photo.
just want to show. I'm just gonna take
Sure.
a photo that there's nothing there.
No.
No, I don't see any.
Okay, and then face me.
Obviously, if you later on realize or feel you got a bruise forming, it may not be visible now. Let us know, and we'll get a photograph of that.
Okay.
Okay, so like I said, your neck's pretty red, but that's normal, right?
What's up?
I just want to make sure. So you're pretty.
Yeah,
red
that's
there.
more from driving when the sun's always on my
It's just
neck.
the sun,
Yeah.
okay.
You can't
Just
ever
wanna
get
make
enough
sure.
shade.
No.
Driving the truck.
All right, so
That's it?
that's all I need, right?
Come on, let's go.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alex used the restroom and came back. They have him sitting again alone in the room. And I'm skipping ahead because you can't see, so you might as well just skip ahead. He's just sitting in a room alone.
All right, sorry about that.
That's
Sorry
all right.
about that. Thanks for your patience.
No worries.
All right, so
It's fun staring at nothing.
just want to kind of go back through a couple things real quick.
Yep.
Your sister had mentioned something kind of historically. I guess she said she just recently moved back. She went to Houston or somewhere, and then recently moved back about 3 weeks ago. She was saying something about Charles texting your other brother. Is it Andy? Adam? Do you know anything about that? Okay.
No.
So I'll kind of walk through an order.
Sure.
When the argument initially came your way, you said you were on the phone?
No.
Okay, you were just in the room.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said you were on the phone.
No.
So you weren't on the phone with anybody.
No, my phone was in that room.
Okay, your phone was in the room. So were you.
Yeah.
And then they came your way.
Yeah.
And then you're not sure where Lori and Tylee were when you came
When
back.
I came
with
back
the
out,
gun.
that's correct.
Okay. Where was your gun at in the room?
It was in my bag in a case at the foot of the bed. So the bed was here, and then the gun was here in a case.
Okay.
Again, remember, he was hitting him with a bat, so he ran in his room to get his gun and come back and shoot Charles 4 times or whatever. So he had time to go get it out of the case and come back out and shoot him. I don't see the self-defense here at all. I just don't at all.
Inside like a duffel bag or something?
Yeah, it was like a zip, a little orange bag.
Okay.
And then my case was in there.
Okay. Is it the hard plastic?
Yeah, the hard
case?
plastic with the foam and the extra clips and everything.
Okay. Is there a reason you spent the night there last night?
No, not really.
Okay.
Just hang out. We were going to hang out today.
Okay. Did your sister ever tell you she was concerned for her safety or well-being for Charles coming there?
No.
Okay.
But watching him interact with her, I was.
Okay. So, do you normally carry a gun with you?
Yeah.
Okay. But you didn't have it on your person during this?
No.
Okay. When we talked about Tylee basically having the bat, Charles taking the bat away from Tylee, you said there was a struggle after that.
Yeah.
What happened?
I grabbed him from behind.
Okay.
And then we went to the ground. And then we separated, and he hit me, and then that's when I left.
Okay. So you grabbed him from behind, and how come you grabbed him from behind?
Because he was in front of me, and he was going after Tylee with the bat.
What was he doing with the bat?
He just grabbed it from her, and then I jumped in. I don't know what he did with it.
So he was going after Tylee with the bat, and you grabbed him from behind, around the neck or
over the shoulder like this.
Okay. You grabbed him from behind. Yeah. You pulled him back, and you guys
pulled him back. We both went to the ground. Yeah.
Okay. Did you see him swing the bat at you?
No.
Okay. So you pulled him to the ground. You got back up.
I got back up. He hit me in the back of the head. I don't know if it was with the bat or not. I assumed it was.
Okay.
Because he had it.
Okay. So he hit you at the back of the head.
Yeah.
And you go to the room.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't know where Lori or Tylee are when you go back to the room.
Correct.
Okay. You come back from the room.
Yeah.
And you basically get you initial or mark kind of here on this corner.
Yeah.
That you're basically at the corner of the living room.
Well, this is a hallway here, so there's like a wall here that divides the kitchen.
Okay.
So I'm somewhere in this area.
Okay. And he's in the living room.
Yes.
And he still has the bat.
Yes.
Is he now focused at you, or is he focused at Lori?
He's focused at me. Okay. He's yelling at me, and he moves towards me.
What was he saying to you? Do you remember?
Not really.
Okay.
I just remember yelling.
Okay.
And then I was watching more body language, and when someone aggressively comes at you.
Okay. Are you? Do you have your CCW?
Yeah.
Okay. So you. So he's basically coming at you, and he's yelling. You're watching his body language.
Yeah.
And you said you told him, and I didn't. When we're talking, I'm trying to not take notes and listen to what you're saying.
I'm trying to calm the situation.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop your bat, and he's fuck you and whatever.
Okay.
Coming at me in.
Did you ever tell him to leave, or did you say drop the bat, or?
First, I just said drop the bat.
Okay. And then did you say anything else after that?
I didn't have time.
Okay. So he came after you with the bat.
Yep.
He's kind of holding it in his hand.
I got his right hand.
Okay. You fire a couple times.
Yep.
And then you go to the kitchen.
Correct.
And then back to the bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. When you went back to the bedroom, you washed your hands.
No,
you washed your hands in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You put your gun back in your room.
Yep.
Where'd you set it at?
Just on the floor.
Okay. So you set it on the floor. Get your phone.
Yep.
Call 911.
Yep.
And then when did you realize Lori had gone? Did you call her?
No.
Okay. So you called 911. Did you do CPR on him?
I did.
Okay.
I tried.
Okay. But you weren't on the. I must have mistaken you. I thought you said you were on the phone when.
Oh yeah, no.
Did you hear them arguing about his phone?
I don't. All I heard was her say, "Don't touch me," and then him.
Okay.
Coming right after her.
Okay. You said that a couple months ago, Tylee was at your house, and he came over. What happened? Tell me a little bit more about that.
He was going insane trying to locate Lori because Lori wasn't talking to him.
Okay.
They had split up. So he was bugging everybody in the family, blowing up their emails, phones, just sending text messages, just anything he could do to try and get somebody to tell Lori to contact him. So he was just spazzing out. So Tylee and I were pulling up to my house, and he followed us, and then he sped up and blocked my driveway. And he got out and ran up to me real aggressively, like he was going to do something. And he just stopped and talked. And then Tylee got out and yelled at him. And then that lasted, I don't know, 15 minutes in the front.
Okay.
A lot of screaming of Tylee at Charles, and Charles trying to leave and her not letting him because she wanted to get everything out that was bothering her.
Okay. So he didn't go after Tylee at that time?
Physically, he did not do anything.
Have you spent a lot of time around Charles?
Yeah.
Is he hot-headed?
Not normally.
Okay. So have you ever, besides the argument between him and Tylee, have you ever seen him like you saw him today?
No.
Okay.
No.
How would you describe him today?
Very aggressive,
Okay.
physically aggressive, going after Tylee, going after Lori, going after me.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen him behave like that. I was shocked.
Okay. How long have they been together?
15 years, maybe?
Okay.
Oh, a good while.
And did they live here before?
Yeah, they lived here a couple times.
Okay.
They lived here. They lived in Austin. Then they moved. And they moved to Chandler. And they moved to Hawaii. And they moved back here. And then I think they split up. And then she went to live with me in Houston for 2 months, and I wasn't working out. So then she came back here and got a place.
Okay.
And then he had just come back out here.
And he got a place, or she came back out here and got a place. How long ago was that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Been 2 months.
Okay. So the last couple of months. But she never said anything about having you come over because she didn't feel safe with him or because he was showing up or anything like that. Okay. Is it normal for you?
She had expressed that he had threatened her in some email and text messages.
Okay.
Saying he was going to stop her or destroy her or something to that effect.
And when did she tell you that?
Oh, I don't know. A couple weeks ago when she got the text.
Okay. So that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
it wasn't...
we talked about it, but it wasn't anything.
Gotcha.
On
So
the top of my head.
you weren't under the impression that she had you there to make sure that he was, didn't cause an issue or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you had the gun, so you didn't bring a gun for that purpose.
I always carry it.
Okay.
I had my other gun in the truck, and my niece just gave me a gun. I thought we'd maybe go to the shooting range, because my niece gave me a 380.
Okay.
She didn't want it anymore.
Interesting. And this is something that I noticed for the very, very first time. His niece gave him a 380 because she didn't want it anymore. That would be Melanie Boudreau. And just keep that in the back of your head, because that's really brand new news to me, and it could be significant, and I never caught it before. Why would Melanie not want a gun anymore and just give it to Alex, unless she was giving it to Alex to do something with it? And I'm suspicious because I know how this story unfolds, like I said. So just remember that, because you might be able to help me figure something out eventually.
Gotcha.
So I was going to take it from my sister because she's got tiny hands. I was going to let her shoot it.
Okay. Just recreational for sport, not because you felt she needed it for
No. Targets.
Self-protection or anything.
No, I never considered Charles to be violent or a threat before today.
Okay. When you grabbed him, when he was going after Tylee and your sister, you grabbed him around the shoulder, you yank him to the ground, but you never saw him swing the bat at you at that time.
Correct.
Okay. When you got up, what happened right after you got up?
Well, we went to the ground and separated, and then I was getting up like this, and my head bounced.
Okay. So as you were getting up is when you felt the strike to the hip. And then you got up. What did you do? Did you go?
I just went straight to the room.
Okay.
Because I said, hey, this needs to calm down.
Okay.
And that's what I was hoping would happen.
So when you got back with the gun, you were assuming that he was going to...
I thought he would back down at that point.
Okay. And he didn't?
He did not.
Okay. Anything else you could think of that I need to know that we haven't talked about?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. You don't need any medical attention for your head?
I'd like to get that cut cleaned up.
Okay. I think we're almost done.
Yeah.
So if we're almost done, we'll probably get you and Lori and Tylee back to the house. You won't be able to go in.
Yeah.
Because we're working at this as a scene.
Absolutely.
How did the injury on your arm happen?
I'm guessing somewhere in the tussle.
Okay. Were there any strikes thrown besides you getting hit in the back of the head?
No, just me shoving him.
Okay. And that was initial in the bedroom.
That was exactly.
Okay.
That's when I got involved.
Okay. And then the only other time we got physical with anybody is when he was going after Lori and Tylee, and you grabbed him around the neck.
Correct.
Dragged him back, and you both fell to the ground.
That's correct.
Okay. No, we're just running a criminal history to make sure that
Yeah.
you're not a prohibited possessor, so there's no felony convictions. No.
Correct. There was a confessed felony, aggravated assault,
Okay.
in Austin, Texas in 2007.
Have your rights been restored, or are you
Oh,
legally
yeah.
able to?
Yeah,
okay, so your rights are restored, you're
All done.
able to possess
I was
firearms.
never convicted.
Oh, okay.
I pled guilty, but they had deferred adjudication in Texas, so I completed probation. And
Gotcha.
that was that.
Okay, so it's an open-ended thing, so it's a
Yes.
misdemeanor now.
Well, whatever. It's just on there as a whatever. I don't know what the technical record is.
Okay,
I know I went to court and she said all your rights restored and gave me the paper and I'll find it
gotcha.
after 4 years.
All right, hang tight. I'm gonna go see if they're done with Lori. We'll get you guys all together so we can get you out of here. And just make sure that the people that are monitoring don't have any other questions that I need to ask, okay?
Yeah,
All right, thanks. I appreciate your patience, man.
no problem.
You go by Alex or Alex?
Yeah, Alex.
Alex? All right, we're just gonna walk over and we'll go where your sister is.
Sure.
Here's that. Oh, is that what you were wearing when all
Yeah,
this went
yeah.
down? Okay, just very sure. There you go. Yeah, there's one back here. Okay.
So that was into that interview. So they've all three been interviewed, and now eventually they go back home to Lori's house in Chandler. And Lori winds up at some point texting their landlord, who is a good friend of Charles. And this was posted online by the landlord later on. But just to give you the background that we found later of what happened that day, I want you to hear this part. Now, right before this, and Lori kind of alludes to it, in about February, Lori disappeared and Charles had JJ. Charles took JJ back to Houston, and then Lori reappeared, and that's where Tylee talks about then they moved from Houston back to Arizona. So Joe Pongrantz posted online about what happened the day that Charles was shot, but he gives a little backstory about that. He says, I've known Lori and Charles since they moved to Chandler many years ago. We rented them the first home they lived in for around 5 years before they moved to Kauai. I'd say we were good friends. My family visited them, Charles, Lori, Tylee, and JJ in Kauai. When they returned to Chandler, Charles and I had several conversations during Lori's disappearance, February of 2019. He came to my house and cried, telling me he's so sad and that he can't believe she just abandoned JJ. A few text messages followed, and then they resurfaced as Charles tried to make the marriage work. We then rented Charles and Lori another home in June 2019, where Charles was murdered July 11th, 2019. Charles and I were texting the night before on July 10th at 7:49 p.m. and planning to meet in the morning to find him another place to live because it wasn't working out with Lori. That was the morning he was shot. Many very weird events followed. When the neighbors informed me police were at the house and yellow tape surrounded, I immediately text both Charles and Lori, "Are you okay?" No response until around 11 a.m. and Lori replied, "We are okay, I'll explain later." Alex were taken to Chandler Police Department for questioning and released that day. The neighbors reported a pool party at the house the same day Charles was murdered, with loud music, lots of people swimming. Neighbors also reported Alex was staying at the house for several days following the shooting, even though he lived in the same area. I spoke with Lori several times days following the shooting, and she never sounded shocked, sad, or heartbroken, as you would think a bride would be watching her husband die. I asked her to move out, which she did August 31st. No communication as to where she was going. I really liked Charles and Mrs. Smile and Louisiana, Texas twang accent. He was a generous and family man. Such a terrible loss. I'm so sorry he's gone. I wish I could have helped him more sooner. Rest in peace, my friend. And at Pongrant's request, Lori agreed to move out by August 31st. But Lori had a lot of plans. She was moving to Rexburg, Idaho, to be near Chad Daybell, even though Chad was married to Tammy Daybell. She had plans to go be Chad's partner and the $144,000 and find all the rest of the people that were allowed to follow her into the New World Order. Yeah, seriously. This was seriously what they were planning. And to back up for a minute, Charles Vallow did send an email to Adam Cox, Lori's other brother, right before he died. In this email, he was uncovering very suspicious communications that Lori was having with Chad Daybell. And along with this, Lori's niece Melanie's husband, Brandon, was also looped into this whole thing, and Tammy.
Justin Lounge with us live in studio, trying to sort all of this out. Lots of twists and turns, Justin.
Right, Linda, and over the past 2 months, we've uncovered several signs from Charles Vallow, the divorce paperwork, a protection order against Lori. His lawyers even told us he feared for his life last February. Charles believed Lori had changed once she joined a religious group. And in this email from Charles, it's the first time we've seen him mention Chad Daybell, along with a letter sent to Chad. But by who? Police don't know.
We don't know who wrote it. We're not specific as far as where it came from, and that's something we're trying to get to the bottom of.
Who would write this letter to Chad Daybell claiming to be Charles Vallow? On June 29th, Charles attached this document to an email he sent Adam Cox, his wife's brother.
This is one of the reasons why the investigation is still open.
Because Charles was talking to Adam about Lori Vallow. One part reads, "Open this letter and see what she did. I'm not sure of the relationship with her and Chad Daybell, but they are up to something." Charles claimed Lori created an email account in his name and sent this long message to Chad pretending to be him. It says, "We really enjoyed having you stay with us back in November when you came to the Preparing a People conference." The message said Charles wanted help writing his own book. It reads, "I'm willing to pay you well to help get this book in shape as my ghostwriter." Whoever acted as Charles also offered to fly Chad out to Arizona and cover his expenses, even inviting him to stay in his guest room.
My sister, he was getting physical with her, so my niece came out with her bat.
2 weeks later, on July 11th, Lori's other brother, Alex Cox, tells police he shot Charles to death. Alex claimed Charles hit him in the head with a metal bat during a fight. The police report says Lori left the scene moments after the shooting, but came back a little bit later. I asked Sergeant Jason McClymans if Lori and Alex's hands were swabbed during the investigation.
I know that they did do some photographs and stuff of that nature, but I'm not specifically sure about the hand swabbing. That was something I would have to talk to detectives about.
At the end of Charles's email to Adam, he wishes him luck in trying to help Lori and says, "I was the only one brave enough to try and get her help in January, and look what happened to me."
So that was Justin Lum reporting on this, and I will go ahead and read you the email. It is dated June 29th, 2019 at 10:39 a.m. Charles had found this bizarre letter in Lori's computer or email. He had access to this. But it says, "Adam, open this letter and see what she did. I'm not sure of the relationship with her and Chad Daybell, but they are up to something. She created an email alias for me, as I never set this one up. She sent this yesterday, and I guess she forgot all her emails are on the computer at my house. I asked her to explain it, and she started blaming you, Brandon, and me for perpetuating a scheme against her. Just more of her paranoia. She will not explain it. I'm going to send it to Chad Daybell's wife. Her name is Tammy, and I found her email address on their website. I've got her cell number too. Sounds very suspicious to me. What do you think? Whenever she gets caught doing this kind of stuff, she starts blaming everybody else, mostly me, you, and Brandon. Brandon and I are the victims of her craziness. I wish you luck trying to help her. I was the only one brave enough to try to get her help in January, and look what happened to me. The whole family put a scarlet letter on me. Maybe now they can see what they're up against. Thanks." So here is the phony letter that someone wrote from Charles that he did not write to Chad. Hello, Chad. I hope you are doing well. This is Charles Vallow from Arizona. We really enjoy having you stay with us back in November when you came to the Preparing a People conference. I appreciated you taking the time to talk to me about the book I've been working on. Well, more than 6 months later, I still haven't made much progress on it, but I feel an urgency to get it done. As the managing partner of Rape Planning Group, I am going to have the opportunity to speak at various conventions beginning in the fall. But everyone says I need to have a book available that surmises my life and shares the principles I follow. So I will cut to the chase. I'm willing to pay you well to help me get this book into shape as my ghostwriter. I really liked your autobiography and the tone you took in sharing the experiences without preaching. Is there any way you could come here for a couple of days and help me get the book underway? I feel talking in person would be much more valuable than a phone call or a video chat, mainly because I would like you to read through some of my journals and explain to me how the publishing industry works. It would help me know whether I truly have a book in me and whether you want to learn and whether you want to team up on it. I played minor league baseball and have plenty of stories that my audience could relate to, along with the knowledge I've gained running my own company. So I do feel the book would contain valuable information even beyond the convention circuit. I'm out of town until Saturday, but I would gladly fly you down here early next week before the holiday and cover your expenses. You could stay in our guest room like you did before, or in a hotel if you prefer. I hate to take you away from your family, but I know this book is vital to my speaking success. I understand if you don't want to take part in the project, but I would definitely make it worth your time. With admiration, Charles. So my take on this, and most other people that follow the case that I've spoken to, believe that this was a ruse to get Chad to come spend some time with Lori, and for him to have an excuse to fly to Arizona, because it's not just to go see his honey bunny, Lori, Miss Princess, beautiful bride, girl, sexy mama. Anyway, it's not just to see Lori, right? Because he doesn't want Tammy to know that he's having this relationship with Lori and he's crowned her the queen. So Lori and Chad clearly came up with this, that Lori would email a letter to Chad pretending it's from Charles and asking for help with a book, because Chad is an author and a publisher. So it made perfect sense if Charles wants to write a book, which he was not even close, that they could invite him, Chad, to their house to help him write this book, when all along it was nothing even close to that. So yeah, that's their game. That was their game in this beginning of this ridiculousness. And before I end this episode, because clearly there's still so much to do, I want you to hear part of the aftermath of what happened. I'm going to play Kay and Larry. And then in the next episode, we'll go into the fact that Lori did not tell anybody that Charles was dead, including his sons. So Charles has 2 adult sons, young adult sons, and Lori didn't even tell them that Charles was dead. But that'll be the next episode, because this one's getting really long. But I do not want to end here. I would like for you to at least listen to the call that Kay and Larry Woodcock made to the Chandler Police Department after Charles had been murdered. This is Kay Woodcock and her husband, Larry Woodcock. Kay, again, is Charles Vallow's sister.
July 13th, 2019 at 15:12 hours, Detective Moffet calling Kay Woodcock in regards to case number 19-83744. May I speak with Kay, please?
This is she.
Hi, Kay. This is Detective Moffet with the Chandler Police Department. Returning your call.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well.
Well, Charles Vallow is my brother.
Okay.
Was my brother, and I don't even know where to start with all this, because.
And I have to apologize for the audio. I have no control over it. This is their police recorded audio, so there's a lot of weird noise in the back and stuff. So bear with it. It's good stuff.
This is crazy. I couldn't, we're blown away. And the only way we found out what happened was my husband just happened to Google Charles Vallow, Chandler, Arizona, and all these articles showed up. That's how we found out he got killed.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And Lori never called us. She texted his two oldest sons, told him that I'm sorry your dad's passed away. He loved y'all and I love y'all too. And I'm at the funeral home making arrangements. That's it.
Okay.
She said, okay, so I don't, and she still hasn't talked to me. So, I mean, we just don't understand this. I know that there was issue with Al, the brother, Charles. There's a lot of stuff into this, okay?
Okay. I would love to hear some of the
Not sure if Kay was getting upset there, but Larry all of a sudden is on the phone and it cuts off a little bit, but I don't think we missed anything.
Extremely hard, and Kay is taking it hard. So I asked her, let me pick up the phone and talk to you.
Okay.
Charles was just like a brother to me. Charles was one of the kindest guys you ever met, you ever wanted to meet, and he was the kind of guy that you wanted to be friends with. This is a setup. There is a huge problem, and what we would like to do is we're here in town, and we flew in. This morning early, so we could be here to hopefully be able to talk to you. Laurie does not know we're here.
Okay.
And we would like to sit. We would like to sit down with you and discuss this and let you see. Let you hear the other side to this, and there is so much, and I don't even know how this could even happen, but there is a lot of stuff you really need to know. So I know you're off this weekend, and we're not going to bother you. We're not going to bother you on your days off. My wife and I own our own business. We know what it is to have a day off and to appreciate it. But I was wondering if we could possibly get with you Monday.
Charles, I can, if you guys
Larry.
want, I'm sorry, Larry, I'm sorry. Wrong name. Excuse me very much.
That's okay.
Larry, I can gladly make time and we could sit down tomorrow. I have no issue doing that. I'm supposed to be, I have a family barbecue going on this afternoon, but I have absolutely no problem making time to sit down with you guys and talk person to person. It's very hard as an investigator to know exactly, I'm walking into a family with a bunch of dynamics that I don't have any understanding of.
Absolutely.
Let me explain to you that that there's a newspaper article out there, and that's I'm sure kind of what you read was what was initially reported to us, but we were in the very beginning of this investigation. So
we understood that and we anticipated that.
Yeah, this is not something that I'm taking them at their face at face value and just setting aside. And I say that with hopefully the confidence in what you guys have already expressed to me, that stays between us, because the less that Lori and her brother know as far as us making conducting this investigation in the background, the better. Yes. So this is I have to tell you it is going to be an uphill battle to reveal the truth in this, because we only have so much scientific evidence, and then we have basically eyewitness testimony to 3 people. So but it is not an investigation that we're just closing the doors on and walking away and taking it at face value by any means.
Okay, thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
Third person.
So, in fact,
is it Lori and Al? But who is the third person?
Lori's stepdaughter, Tylee.
Oh shit! All right.
So, and Al is Alexander, I'm assuming, or Alex.
Yeah, I know him as Al.
Okay.
I wouldn't know him if he walked up to him.
Yeah.
He knows that there's been an issue in the past with him, with some kind of. Charles told me a while back that Charles told me a few months ago that Al was crazy, that he really did fear him, because he said he's crazy, he'll do anything. He said, I put nothing past this man. And he said,
and he's got a history.
And he's got some kind of history. I can't remember exactly what Charles told me, but I swear it had something to do with him shooting Lori's boyfriend years ago. I don't know. Seems like he did time in jail, or I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a 2007 case that we already researched, and I don't know the specifics of the case, but I know that it was that the case was completed and stuff, and he has the right legally to bear a firearm. Now, as far as the rest of that goes, so it wasn't any serious offense, because you don't get your rights restored if you shoot and seriously injure somebody. But I have not reached what he did 10 or 12 years ago is so far in the distance for what I'm focused on right now that it's something that will be looked in on, but it's not something that we've even focused on right now.
Right, it's not the relevant thing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, look, we are here in town. Lori has no idea that we are in town. We've done that on purpose.
Okay.
Also, we'll get with you tomorrow.
Where are you guys staying at?
Where are we staying at?
I don't know.
We hadn't even got a hotel yet.
Okay.
We just flew in, and
if you just call us in the morning, we'll let you know where we are.
Okay.
And we got to find a hotel.
Absolutely. So what I'll do is, how about we plan on like 10 or 11 o'clock? Is that okay with you guys?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely. Gives you time to get over your barbecue and us to get a night's sleep. And anyhow, we look forward to working with you to hear another side to the story. And we look forward to meeting you. And obviously, if there is anything that you need in the meantime, you have my phone number, and we answer our phones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm looking forward to sitting down and talking to you guys. Like I said, I just want you to rest assured that this is not something that we're just going, oh, that's what they said happened, and we're going to take it at face value.
Okay.
So,
and we assumed that, but in trying to get a hold, first of all, trying to find you, and then getting a hold of you, and we know you got days off. So look, we'll expect your call by no later than noon tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And we'll be very happy to meet with you at wherever you need.
Yep, I have every intention of having you and I sitting down face to face by noontime tomorrow.
That'll be great. We look forward to it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Like I've said so many times already, there's so much to this story. I'm trying not to miss any of the little branches and avenues and keep it as chronological as possibly can. So bear with me on that. But next time, I will give you the rest of the information on what happened after the shooting and how upset Charles's older sons were that Lori did not let them know. I mean, it's insane, everyone. It really is just insane. And as we move forward, hopefully we can catch up before there is a trial so that you have this all straightened out. So thank you so much for listening to Afterglow, Unveiling the Idaho Cult, Season 1, Episode 7. Stay safe, stay well, and I will drop another episode next week. Thank you for your patience with everything, and for everyone that has downloaded and subscribed. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And again, if you want to catch up on more, you can check out my Left Undone Incomplete Investigations channel on YouTube for videos of all this stuff as well. All right, signing off. Take care. Theme music by Dan Lebowitz. Special thanks to Justin Lum, Fox 10 Phoenix, for all the information he's able to provide, as well as Nate Eaton, East Idaho